I do my hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? My hair talk, check my nails. Hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Hair talk, hair.
Hey y'all, it's just me today. It's just me. How are y'all? How y'all doing? Hope everything is going well with everyone's lives. We have some things to talk about today. I'm gonna give everybody a little time to get on. Um, if you're in the audience, definitely let me know that you're here. Say who you're representing. If you just an old regular that just loves some good old cheer, um, you are welcome to say that as well. But yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Everyone's trying to make this smaller. All right. Like I said, I'm just giving it a little time for the people to roll on in. Since I'm in here by myself, I ain't got nobody to talk to but y'all. Wait, no, it's not my way. But yeah, so as we know, FHSAA state championship for cheer happened this past, oh wait, I'm trying to fix it for Instagram too. Happened this past Thursday and Friday. It was eventful. I was supposed to be in the building, but things happened where I didn't get in the building. But I still definitely did watch it. And as eventful as we thought it would be, it was that. Um, the aftermath is just as eventful, to say the least. But it's some things. Um, I'm gonna give it about 2 to 3 more minutes for people to kind of get on in. Again, say hello. How y'all doing? Don't just come up here and watch. I know y'all there. It's 14 people watching. Well, one of them people is me, but it's 13 people watching on Instagram. It's 2 people watching on, I think that's Facebook. I don't know. But yeah, it's few of y'all sitting in here. Hey, how y'all doing? Speak back. Thank you. But it it's some things to discuss. It's some things to discuss. Say something about myself. Hey there. See, I knew y'all was in there. Chapman Mom. Good evenings. Parker Jude. Hey, Colonial. Okay, okay, Colonial in the building. So since it's just me, I'm gonna do it a little different. I'm gonna do it a little different. I am not critiquing. I'm not. Because it's just me by myself. That type of thing deserves a little dialogue and all of that, but I'm not going to do the critiques. But I am going to congratulate everyone for making it to state. I am congratulating everyone that made it to finals. I am congratulating everyone that has, top 3 finishes, and I am giving a extra congratulations to those that got runner up in first place. Like, those are some major accomplishments. It takes a lot for those teams to get out there and compete to the best of their abilities. Um, to get out there and compete with the best to the best of their abilities, and you know give us something to watch, give us some entertainment. And then, some don't be that entertaining, but they still get out there and do it. So it does take a lot out of you to go and do it, and they did it, and they went to a place where a lot of teams didn't get to go because there's a lot of teams that competed last week and the week before whose seasons are who were over, and then now you got a lot more whose seasons are over now, but they competed at state and are going on to nationals. And before we get going on today's topics, um, I want to wish a good luck to everybody that will be competing at nationals. So let me go through my comments because I kind of went away from it. So I had, hey Colonial. I saw somebody say, hey Parker, who it is Colonial saying, hey Parker. Colonial said, hey. Douglas alum said, hey. All right. Got a hey from Western. Congratulations to Western. And then what region are we on? We're not on nobody's region because regionals was we way past regional. State happened. Um, where are the other girlies? So Shira, her grandmother passed, so condolences to her. That her family is getting ready for, all of that stuff. Kay is sick with the flu. So she's not on. So it's just me holding it down, making sure that we still get y'all what y'all want. We normally don't come on here with one person, but I didn't want to disappoint because there's been a lot being said in the internet streets. It's been a lot going on in the internet streets in just 48 hours? Not even a full 48 hours. So, I know there have been a lot of concerns about FHSAA state competition and um, things that they can do better. And I will say that the competition level this year was greater. Uh, the competition level was much greater, but we didn't see that in, how do I put this? I won't say scoring. We didn't see that from the judging panel. Um, so um, let's get into it. Let's just get into it. So one concern is for me because of the way things go, and let me put this out there. There are some categories that were blown away. There's no discrepancies, there's no confusion, there's no anything that can be said about them. But then there are some other categories that was like, yeah, happened in 1A and it happened in 2A. It happened in multiple categories in both. But I want to know, what's the goal of FHSAA? Can anybody tell me, like, does FHSAA have this on their website? I should have looked myself. Their goal for cheer. Um, because usually companies have an objective for what they do, but I'm realizing that a lot of times with FHSAA competition, there's a moving of the goalpost. So, what is the goal of the FHSAA? Are we building leaders? Are we trying to build competitors on the next level? Are we just showcasing cheer? Are we just saying that it is a are we just saying it is a sport just to say that it's a sport? Just to be like, all right, y'all shut up. We made cheer a sport. Put a couple of people over and say, y'all deal with it. Like, is that what we're doing? Because it's a lot of inconsistencies, and it's just a lot going on that me, myself, and a whole lot others obviously are not understanding. Considering I'm on here by myself, y'all talk in the comments. So I have some dialogue. But I definitely would like to know the goal of FHSAA as it relates to cheer. Because I don't see the consistency. And yes, there is growth that needs to happen. However, we don't we don't see it on the admin side. We're seeing it from the teams and the coaches. We're not seeing it on the admin side. People are willing to stay with 80 and lower than 80. I'm gonna get into that. So I got my list of the things that I want to talk about, but that is one of those things that were absolutely on my list. So, first on my list, this whole idea of comparative scoring, and I guess that can fall into that. Um, are we really doing comparative scoring? Are we really looking at team one or all of the teams? Because there is replay. Are we looking at the teams and comparing it to the best team and scoring from there? Or are we looking at the team that we like and scoring it from there? Like, I, please help me out because I saw a team that made it to finals that was only putting halves and extensions up. How do you compare that to a team that is doing hand of hands to a full? How do you compare that to a team that's doing high to highs? How do you compare that to a team that's doing double dragons and all they're doing is halves and fulls? How do you compare those things? It's not comparative scoring because a team like that shouldn't even make it to finals. All right, let me go to the comments. I see somebody say FHSA competitive cheer goals, and I don't see anything up under that. Put those people in real divisions, and 80 wouldn't even get them to finals. Cheer has grown, and FHSA just not growing where it needs to go. It's time to pivot. Goal one, promote high level athletic competition. There is high level athletic competition. However, I don't see them rewarding those that are competing at a high level. Um, Hudson, we throw an insanely hard co-ed routine and score a 3.9 for difficulty. Exactly. Okay, I'm just going through the comments. Are you going to talk about specific teams? I am not talking about specific teams. Goal two, foster cheer spirit. Okay, I can see I can see the cheer spirit. I can see that. Um, Come on with the rest of the goals. I appreciate that. But yeah, I don't see how the whole idea of comparative scoring is actually being done when you have teams that don't compare competing to each other. So something that I was saying is that there needs to be levels in FHSAA, maybe an intermediate and an advanced, a novice, something. I don't think three levels are necessary because it is high school cheer, but I feel like there needs to be levels so you actually can honestly have comparative scoring because right now it's still subjective. Game day has to go. Goal three, develop student athlete character, excuse me, through structure head to head competition. Them head to heads be a joke. Um, this is an amazing podcast. Thanks for bringing awareness to the sport. Thank you so much. Hudson, facts, your routine is crazy difficult. Oh, y'all, I'm getting to that. I promise you I'm finna get to that. This is, I already read that. Head to heads are extended practices. I think no levels you compete against the best of the best. Game day is on my nerve. Y'all, I'm gonna get the game day. I'm gonna get the game day. Y'all going too fast. Y'all going too fast. Fisted, full twisted shotgun rewinds and get a 3.8. Right. Okay, I promise y'all I'm gonna get to it. But yeah, um, I ain't gonna say okay. When I say levels, there are literally some teams that cannot throw some skills. Like they can't. And it's not fair to those teams that are throwing advanced skills to be scored with someone that's throwing beginner skills and be scored the exact same way. And then these beginner skill people are placing not in last. Like, it's not fair. So, all right. Next thing, I'm gonna pause on the comments for right now because I do want to kind of flow through this so I can make sure I get everything. I'm gonna try to go back and forth. And y'all know, if you know me, I told y'all I got a little ADHD, so my focus be bad. Um, Fluctuating scores. Um, I've seen a couple complaints about raw scores fluctuating between regional and state semis and state finals. And let's be honest, a routine is a routine. So if you don't know what the raw score is, the raw score is the routine, minus any mistakes, minus any drops, minus any deductions. You are literally judging the routine, and that is it. If the routine remains the same, why are the scores, why are the raw scores changing as time goes on? Especially if we're following the same score sheet. Now, I may have a different look than somebody else, so we may have varying scores. Like for this section, I may give a 4.2, and the same somebody else may give a 3.8, but that's still a very close score in that same section, which means as I compete in the same routine, my raw score should not fluctuate, not much, or to be honest, not really at all. Um, so this fluctuating in the raw score, that needs to be that needs to be controlled. And when I looked at some of the tabulations, I didn't look at all of them, but when I looked at some of the tabulations where the raw score is getting deducted is in places where some teams are actually getting, well, should be getting those points, and those points are really low. So I'm just telling y'all, I'm going to do some research in the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to come back and present the research. So I really don't want to talk about this too much, but I am going to do, like I said, I'm going to do some research and I'm going to really dig into this. However, I feel that when FHSAA or the judging panel, I don't know which one it is, wants a particular team to win, they pull from the raw score and then they hit with the deductions. That's just me. I'm finna look through some of these comments to see what y'all saying, and then I'm gonna go on to the next topic because I do not plan on being on here all the night. Okay. Fools with Charlotte. Okay. It is a competition if there are levels. I feel like it still could be a competition if there are levels. At different national competitions, you have different levels. Do I personally feel that everybody needs to up their game? Absolutely. But let's be real. Everybody ain't there. You get a new coach, you get a new team. Everybody can't hit the same skills. But if we're all in the same competition and we're all being scored the same, to your point, these teams that's not hitting those skills should not be making it to state, let alone to finals, with those teams that are hitting those more difficult stunts. Head-to-heads are only a joke in some regions. They're very serious in other counties. Okay. Um, with three boys under it. Okay, I'm gonna pass by that. There is no consistency. It's like participating. There are no, okay. This the point of co-ed. Cause why is it 5,000 teams a game day? Okay, I saw somebody being messy, but then I'll see talking about game. Since we on game day, I'm skip down to that because that was not my next topic. But I'm gonna skip to actually it was. Look at that. Anybody that has a game day score sheet, not necessarily yours, but has access to view game day score sheet. I look for it, can't find it. I need it because I need to understand the game day score sheet. There are some really good game day teams. And when I say some, I'm literally talking about four or five in the entire FHSAA. I'm literally talking about 1A and 2. There are only about five good game day teams. The scores are on average high 80s and 90s. How? How? So I would like to see, before I really get into that, I would like to see how they're being scored so I can understand how these scores are so high. And that needs to change because these game day routines are not that good. Um, where they should be getting those high scores. Like something got to change. Now I've seen UCA's game day score sheet, but we know that UCA score sheet and FHSAA score sheet varies drastically. So thank you, Lonnie. Please get that over. I need it like real bad. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into this conversation about the co-ed and things. The definition of co-ed is that there are boys and girls on the team. That's the definition of co-ed. Now, the better co-ed teams do not do too many stunts where there are multiple boys under the stunt. You have your single guy with your girl at the top. You might have two guys with your girl at the top. I mean, with your flyer at the top. But there are things that's done where there are multiple guys under the stunt. That doesn't make them not co-ed. That just may make them not as advanced in co-ed. Now, who we talking about? I don't know. I just addressed that comment. Um, all right. Now, while I'm on the I talked about the game day score sheet. I would like to see the tumbling score sheet as well. Well, the varsity score sheet as well, because I noticed that there were teams that, in my opinion, I thought were good, but their scores were very low in comparison to what I thought they would have scored in varsity, and they were in it's like a whole category of low scores, and you had winners because I see people keep talking about this 80 and winning state. There were winners that were very close to 80. um my personal opinion, if you score a 75 and you win state, that means that category was weak, and that's just that. So you can have just a weak category and a winner. However, one of the categories that I saw a 80 in, I felt like the score should have been higher. However, again, I need to see FHSAA's breakdown of that varsity score sheet, considering FHSAA score sheet varies drastically from UCA score sheet. So if anybody can provide that, again, it don't have to be yours with your critiques or anything on it, just the layout of the score sheet. Um, all right, let me hit these. I disagree, and so do the judges. Is not okay. I already addressed that. You should be upset if your game day doesn't score at least an 80. Yeah, but even with scoring at least an 80, some of them game days I feel like should not be scoring an 80 at all that competed in finals at state. Like that's just my honest opinion. Um it's called a pyramid. I'm sorry, game day is very competitive division. At nationals, you should at least get an 80. Yep, I agree. Yeah, watch Brother Martin and oh yeah, I'm not getting into that. Um, they do the same skill with their not getting into that. All right. So on to the next topic. An inconsistency. An inconsistency in what is expected to win. Let me explain. When you kind of have a chair eye, you can kind of gauge on um I guess you could say who might win or who might lose and stuff like that. That's a possibility when you kind of have a chair eye. Um there has been some years where difficulty has won with falls. There are some years where clean has won with no difficulty. And I feel like this year was a year of clean one and difficulty wasn't a factor. I get it. On FHSAA score sheet, difficulty is not a big thing. However, FHSAA score sheet has not changed in so many years. However, who's winning has fluctuated based on what I just said. We will say, okay, the score sheet doesn't have high difficulty, so this clean team should win, and then it'll be based on difficulty. So, wh- how do we know that what they're really gonna look for? Right, clean at one this year. Clean swept the board. And is it fair? Absolutely not. It's not fair that clean swept the board. Now, if you difficult and clean, don't get me wrong, you should be winning. But I shouldn't be penalized because I could do a stunt that you won't even try. So yeah, I that one and it, again it fluctuates. One year it may be okay, clean gonna win, and the next year difficulty gonna win. But at the end of the day, how is that changing if the score sheets are not? I agree. There were some teams that were clean and difficult, but then there were categories where they were either clean or difficult. And then there were teams that were clean and difficult and still didn't win. Again, said I got to do some research before I really get into all of that. I'm just pointing out the points. I'm reading y'all comments when I can. Um, and I'm actually going to take some of the things that y'all say and go into my research as well. So yeah, keep the comments going. I'll get back to them when I can. Y'all know I can do two things at one time. Um, all right. What was my next thing? The score sheet itself in non-tumbling. That's the score sheet that I looked at and broke down. And it was a blank score sheet. It was nobody's team on it. It was literally the plain old score sheet. The verbiage on there in itself is very confusing. Um, I'll explain. Let me pull it up real quick. I should have been had it up, but let me go on and go to it. So I can explain what I mean by it is confusing. Um, hold on, give me a second. All right. I'm only gonna do the cheer portion because this is where I felt like it was most confusing. So you have one, two, three, four, five things that you can be scored off of in cheer. Some things are worth 5 points, some things are worth 10. Crowd effect material is worth 10 points. Now, when I read crowd effect material, to understand it, I'm thinking of the things that you're using because it's crowd effect material. So I mean your signs, your palms, your megaphones, things like that. But in parentheses, and again, this is FHSAA score sheet. In parentheses, it has cheer, pace, volume, motions, motions technique, and etc. Okay. But then right up under it, it says proper use of skills to effectively lead the crowd. I feel like there is some confusion there. Now, let me go to the next row. Use of signs, palms, and or megaphones to effectively lead the crowd. And then you have execution technique of incorporation, and then you have overall impression. I really and truly feel that some of these things are confusing because you're mixing up words that should describe something else. So that cheer, pace, volume, motion technique, I feel like those are the skills that you would use to effectively lead a crowd. Whereas your palm signs and megaphones would be your crowd effect material. You have you have 10 points for the crowd effect material, 5 for the proper use. Then you have 5 for the use of signs, and I mean basically your props. If I don't understand what it's talking about, then I may score it in the wrong spot if I'm a judge. And I'm not saying that the judges are going into this not having a meeting and truly understanding what this stuff means. However, if I'm a coach and I don't have a mentor, which we always say get a mentor, and my head is not in the camera. Um, and we always say get a mentor. I don't know how to align these things. So, in my opinion, the score sheet itself is dumb. Now, let's go into. I said I wasn't gonna go into this one, but I'm going to this one. When it goes to building, you have your stunts and you have your pyramid, and they pretty much the same thing for both. But your stunts is your partner stunts, and your pyramids is when they connect. So your stunts and pyramids, you get 10 points for execution, 5 points for difficulty, variety of stunt, and stunt transitions also get 5. I agree that stunt execution is important, but why is difficulty not as important? Difficulty should weigh a lot more because if I'm only doing a beginner stunt and executing, it's not fair that someone who bobbles doing a very extremely difficult stunt that falls on the high difficulty level um, of stunting should be penalized so much more because they didn't like they didn't get the top 10, all 10 of their points for executing. I'm getting ready to go through the comments real quick. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back to what I saw last. Ruben gay congratulations. They worked really hard. There are many teams that won with drops over teams that were clean and hit zero. Okay, thank you. Yeah, there were some teams that did win with drops and teams that didn't win and hit zero. But I only think that happened in one category, if I'm not mistaken. Unless it happened in 1A as well, because I didn't get to see um all of 1A. I did watch a good amount of it, but not all of it. And I'm not saying you all weren't creative. Okay, they still going back and forth. FYI, cheer score sheets it's the same across all divisions, no difference between tumbling and non-tumbling. There has to be a difference because tumbling has to get The tumbling has to get scored, and it's still only out of 100 points. So that has to go in there somewhere. Yeah, you can't with try skills that are unsafe because that's how injuries happen. A rubric would alleviate a lot of that. Uh, yep. Difficulty is worth more at UCA. Absolutely. And that's why a lot of teams are using UCA's score sheets in order to build their routine. And where it's hurting them is because they're intending to go to nationals with that same routine, but it's hurting them at state because those difficult stunts may bobble at state and they're not getting their full execution points, but they're going to get more points at UCA for attempting that stunt and hitting, but with a bobble. So, um, yeah, difficulty and cleanliness matter. It absolutely does. Both matters. Um, okay. Wait, hold on. I think I missed something. A rubric would be, yeah, we talk about a rubric all the time. And that's partially why I'm doing what I'm doing instead of doing critiques tonight. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing because um the rubric has to happen. It absolutely has to happen. There can be no more years without a rubric. It will alleviate all of the questions of why didn't I get this? Why didn't I get that? um it will help coaches arguments with them thinking that they should have scored better. It will also help FHSAA to dismiss arguments. Okay, here's your routine, you didn't do this and this, so that's why you didn't get a score in this range. We can no longer go into another year without a rubric. They just considers tumbling a skill. Stunts and tumbling are considered skills. In the chair, rubric would help, not just the new coaches. Yep, absolutely, Ruben. I absolutely agree. Execution is still higher than difficulty at UCAA. It is, but you get more points for difficulty, so it does make a major difference. Execution on UCAA score sheet is also worth 15 at UCAA and only 10 for FHSAA. It's annoying. Yep. Excuse my typing. It's all good, Ruben. They're scoring tumbling and stunt the same on the score sheet for varsity. Oh, that was a question. Just in the cheer. Co-ed teams have a dance at FHSAA and not UCA too. See, and that's another thing. That's why I want to see the tumbling score sheet because if it's like, yeah. So anyway, back to my breakdown. So yeah, the reason why I kind of broke down FHSAA score sheet is because FHSAA says that it somewhat models UCA and it doesn't. Because if it somewhat models it, that means the score sheets would somewhat align and it does not, almost not at all. So moving right along, um, the judges. You have a very diverse group of teams. You have a very diverse group of coaches. Why does the judging panel not reflect that diversity? And I say that because one of the things that we are noticing in the cheer world is that there is a look that is gone for, and a lot of people ain't gonna agree with this, and I don't think I really care, but there is a look that is looked for, and that look is depicted by a certain type of people. Um, there can be flyers that are diverse, but the look ain't coming from one of those flyers or two of those flyers. Those two flyers are torn down, should I say, because they don't give the look. Um, we have to agree that we all move different, we flow different, we react different. Our bodies are we got a different swag to ourselves. Because I don't pop my chest the same should not be a problem. Long as my motions are where they supposed to be, long as my stunt hits, long as my stunt is clean, long as the technique is proper, why should I be penalized because it don't quote unquote look the same? Y'all know what I'm talking about without me saying it. We not gonna look the same. Our swag is different. Did it hit? What were the motions in the right place? Did they load properly? Did they dismount properly? If they did, shut up. And because the judges are not diverse, we're not going to see those different looking teams be appreciated for hitting with their swag. I'm going to end that right there. So let's diversify the judging panel because the picture that I saw, there was only two people that made it diverse. Moving right along. Since we talk about the judges, how do we hold the judges accountable? When the judges make a mistake, how do we hold them accountable? Now, state is over. You probably could have did it at district. You probably could have did it at regionals. You probably could have did it at your head to head, whatever. But how do you hold a judge accountable for state? Because what I do know, and in the past 2 days, I've been asking a lot of questions and I've been doing a lot of digging. And I know that because it's comparative scoring, we can go back and watch video and things can be redacted or removed. Comments, um, deductions can be changed, stuff like that. How do you hold them accountable for the things that they mess up when they say, oh, a stunt to the left came down and you got video that a stunt to the left didn't come down? Or um there was something here and that didn't happen. How do we where is my big eraser? How do we hold the judges accountable for making mistakes? And I know people say you can go talk to the judges, but at state, after they done already gave out the winner, what are we doing to change that? Um, Also, how are we holding accountable the inconsistencies with, like I said earlier, the raw scores, the with everything? How are we holding these people accountable for not doing what they are supposed to do? Because essentially, yeah, the coaches are hurt. Ma'am, just log off and try it again next Sunday, please. You can log off and not listen because it's a lot of people that are joining in. Have a good evening. Um, Teams should be able to defend their routine. A bobble shouldn't be counted as a fall. There should be a time frame where teams should be able to contest their scores prior to placements. Yeah, I agree. I I agree. Um, but yeah, like give me And oh, I'm saying, I thought you were saying that I need to log off and try again. I'm sorry, cause you know I'll be ready. I'll be ready for the comment section. I'm sorry. But please, no, I want to understand how that can happen though. How do we get them to be held accountable? If it's just if where get your score is 20 after you perform. Okay, that makes sense. So if before you announce your winner, I've already seen my score sheet and I'm going back and looking at my routine and I realized that what you said was not true, I can go against you. I can tell you that it's wrong. So that's something that FHSAA needs to do. You can defend your score or ask about your score if you feel something wasn't right. Okay. Oh, that's at NCA. See, like these are things that again, that's why I'm having this dialogue with y'all because these are things that need to be documented. Um, and Q, can you make a note of some of these things because I am willing to fight the fight with y'all. I am willing to help make the change. I'm absolutely okay with that. Because I have no attachment to no team. Yes, I am Diller alum. I cheer for who's good. I tell who good when they doing bad. I have no direct connection to any team. Just so happen I'm a former cheerleader. And just so happen I went to Dillard. But I am affiliated with Diller in no shape or form. So this fight ain't just about any particular team. This is about the overall sport in totality. Because if the teams are getting better, but the admin part is not getting better, then is the sport getting better? So I just need a little note taking because y'all know I can't take it at the same time. Um, so yeah, holding these judges accountable and asking them what's going on. Also, another thing that I've heard about when people do go to judges and ask them about comments in their score sheets, um, what's the best way to do that? Because I can see a judge kind of being in their feelings about you asking me about what I said, and I'm the judge. But I also see where the coach would be coming from, like, you said this about me. Can you explain? So has anybody ever done that and been successful at that at the competition? Because some of these people do not have interactions with judges outside of competition. Some of y'all them y'all friends. Some of them y'all choreographers. Some of them y'all cheered with in high school so y'all could call up. Some of them y'all was with at master's camp and they were directly with y'all so y'all could call up. Not everybody has that luxury. So what is the best way to handle that? Um, Personnel at those tables should not be affiliated with any other teams compete. Okay, so I got a suggestion for that. Why don't FHSAA hire judges from outside of the state of Florida? Because, like I said, some of them y'all cheered with in high school or college. Some of them did y'all choreography. Some of them was y'all lead person at camp. Some of them y'all just became friends with. And because this my routine and I'm judging it, I'm not gonna judge my routine bad. Like that needs to be fixed. So again, FHSAA needs to hire judges from another state. And if they hire judges from another state and go by UCA's actual scoring sheet, it makes it a lot easier for somebody to come in and judge. All right, well, I'm at, where I'm at. I see y'all. I see y'all. I see y'all. Especially not their choreographer. See, yup, I was on it. I was on it. I was on it. Hey, loves. Hey, Coach T. Um, all right. I think I'm all caught up. I think I was kind of following. That's supposed to be the head judge job. Okay, is there a judge who is critiquing the judge's feedback before the final score? The judge should be tasked. Okay, yeah, but still, at the same time, these head judges, the one that's the quote unquote head, they be their friend too. So let's bring the people from the outside. Nobody from the state of Florida. Somebody take notes. um, what else? Where was I? Where was I? The difference in the UCA format if you are using UCA judges. So last show, I think we did establish that these UCA, there are some UCA judges that are judging, but not necessarily all of them. Like it's not FHSAA using UCA judges. Um, but if the style of cheer that we're doing is UCA, why not just use UCA format completely, like to the T, and just go ahead and rename the thing so you're not plagiarizing. Or this was a suggestion that I was given. Just pay UCAA, not UCA, Lord, pay UCA to just do your competition. Like contract them to do it. That way you take all the people out of it and let them bring their out of state judges in. I think that would be a smart thing. Okay, we do know judges are human and can make mistakes, right? But they should be called on the carpet if they are wrong. Absolutely. A lot of the judges at FHSAA also judge at UCA High School Nationals. Correct. But from what we were told last week, not all of them are. And if they are UCA judges, can we at least help them out and give them the UCA format? I mean, the actual UCA score sheet or something extremely similar. Uh, being a judge for UCA, for FHA is different, right? We already established that. The FHSA judges are also UCA judges, almost the entire panel. Okay, so now I'm getting different things this week than we got last week. Um, we literally wait. Why I can't read? We're literally here in Florida where they hold nationals having to work the co-ed. Yup. I agree. I agree. Wiki watching, I absolutely agree. Honestly, just move it to UCA score sheet. Hello, I agree, Parker. Uh, we are noticing the consistencies between the two. Yes, inconsistencies are terrible. Can we talk about boys in non-tumbling at FHSAA, but at UCA in the co-ed division? Um, Layla, can you explain that a little bit better? I'm reading, can we talk about boys in non-tumbling at FHSAA, but UCA in co-ed division? So are you saying that at FHSAA, they could be, the boys can be in non-tumbling, but they would have to go co-ed at UCA? Is that what you mean? Um, UCA doesn't have a rubric. So what is this? Belgrade, I guess that's high school cheer. UCA doesn't quote unquote have a rubric when you're talking about when, because when I looked at it, I was thinking I was going to see something like a right. You know how you get the writing rubric in school? I thought I was going to see something like that. That's not what they have, but they do have a breakdown in what's considered advanced. I mean, they have their stunting and what's considered beginner to advance, and it goes in that order. So if you're doing an advanced routine, you have to start at the bottom, and you keep working your way up until you get to something that you can do. So I wouldn't necessarily call it a rubric, but it at least gives you an idea of where you need to be if you plan on doing a little something. um let's see. Yes, ma'am. They do have a stunt progression chart. Yep. Medium co-ed and small co-ed need to be together. That's not a rubric. It's not fair across the board. A boy on the team go co-ed. It's a stunt progress sheet. They're different. Those divisions are scarce and need to be put together. I agree. Like if if a category can go straight to finals and not have a semi, just put the category together. Um, Make the numbers bigger, save us some time. Thank you. A co-ed non-tumbling needs to be a division because boys should be judged on co-ed stunting, even in non-tumbling. I can't tumble or I would. Um y'all know if y'all watched for a while, y'all know how I feel about non-tumbling. However, I do get it, but I don't really care for people that can tumble being in non-tumbling. However, um, I do feel that if you're going to have co-ed, you need to have co-ed varsity and co-ed non-tumbling because like someone said, if you're gonna have non-tumbling and I can't tumble, then shoot. I'm going in non-tumbling. If I like by definition, I can go in non-tumbling. But if I got it to go varsity, then I'm gonna go co-ed. So I get it. I get both thoughts. So just make a non-tumbling co-ed division, but then we'll be looking at the same thing where you only have a very small group of people in that category opposed to um what we would like to see, which is a large group, well, not at state, but a competitive size group to take over to finals. Um, it is just hard when you can't tumble. FHSAA doesn't have a co-ed non-tumbling division. We had boys for years, and I wish for co-ed non-tumbling. Okay, exactly. Amber agreed. We are teaching co-ed stunting that didn't matter at FHSAA. Yeah, I agree. Um, it's really not fair to all girl teams for non. Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree with the whole. Ooh, y'all just had a lot of comments, and I'm finna skip past all of that. But no, I agree. There does need to be a non-tumbling co-ed division. Um, for that particular reason, if you have one boy on the team, it is going to be some better stunting because now I could do just that partner stunt with that one man, and I could put up more stunts. Um, if I put that guy in a stunt, I can my stunt can go up stronger and cleaner. So yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, let me go. Let me get back to my list, y'all. Y'all know I get distracted. I keep telling y'all that y'all got to remember who I am. Um. Oh, and then my last thing was. Oh, I pretty much already pinpointed this that there are teams that are getting credit for things that different teams are not getting credit for when it pertains to them doing the exact same thing, and it goes back to the look. I hit on that already. I don't need to go back into that. So I hit all the topics that I needed to hit. Do y'all have anything else that we can discuss that I have not mention, or y'all can run back some things that we did talk about that I didn't necessarily bring up that I said was of concern, and I told y'all to take notes because I know somebody ain't take my notes. um, but I know Lonnie supposed to be sending over the game day score sheet. I still would like to see the varsity score sheet. This is FHSAA, not UCA. I've seen all of them for UCA. Um, all right. Let's see. But then you get teams that sandbag to non-tumbling so they can win. Listen, do people do that? They absolutely do. I think that's what game day is now. Game day is the I want to win. I can't compete with that. I can't compete with the powerhouses, so I'm gonna run the game day. And I'm gonna get these inflated scores. So it make like I look so it looks like I did so good and I really didn't. But I'm gonna run the game day. I feel like that's what it is. I do feel like people do run to categories that they feel like they can win. I feel like teams make packs and they don't enter the same category so the two teams can win. However, if you don't have, and because we don't know, if you don't have a majority that's tumbling, don't take your butt into varsity. You just can't do it. People swear we pull all our kids from all-star programs with tumbling background. We have three kids who have ever cheered in their life this year. Tumbling isn't an option for us. If it was, we would. Correct. You loud and wrong. Plant City has two back handsprings on their entire team. Loud and wrong. Because tumbling is a part of cheer and team sandbags take advantage of non-tumbling divisions. You are wrong. Incorrect. Uh, love them, close with them. They don't tumble. Trust me. What are we talking about? Child, everything. We done talked about so much. Now we honestly, I'm just in the comments at this point. Because we had a few topics that I went through. I'm taking topics at this point. They do not tumble, they have two back handsprings. Some of the best teams in the state are non-tumbling. They say tumbling is a part of cheer. Isn't fair across the board. Some teams do have tumblers and should be made to tumble if they can. Um, you sound crazy. Chilling is way more than tumbling. If you don't have kids who can tumble, uh, listen. I am a supporter of getting your kids to tumble. I am that. However, I would absolutely go against a team who does not have half, who does not have majority tumblers going into varsity. I disagree with it. So if they only got two and they got 10 kids, and Plant City has more than 10 kids, but if they only got two, they don't need to go into varsity. Just because the team tumbles doesn't make them the best team, right? Um, I don't know about y'all, but I'm having a great time. I am too. I'm actually loving the commentary, even though it's hard for me to keep up. But it's easier for me to keep up now because I don't have nothing else to talk about on my list. But at one point in time, it was very hard to keep up. But I like this. We having a dialogue. I love it. Um, at Dilla, we have kids who can tumble, fulls, and standing fulls. Period. But no, yep, no, can't do it at nationals in Georgia. They don't non they don't have non-tumbling divisions. Look, and I love it. I love that Georgia does not have non-tumbling divisions. And I feel like that should be a goal for Florida. However, we're not there yet. We're still on the advancing era of Florida cheer. And until we get there, we need to offer non-tumbling because you got to think about it. Um, All-star is the thing in Georgia. Granted, we have a lot of all-star teams here in Florida and they are good, but all-star ain't the thing in most places in Florida. It's park cheer, it's rec cheer. And them people can't really teach tumbling the way that you need to teach it in order to be successful in varsity. So we ain't there. We not there. We not there yet. Easily overcome by a team that stunts as well. Hello, Florida isn't there yet, and non-tumbling division. Exactly, this is not Georgia. Yeah, right. We will we get there one day? Hopefully. Are we there yet? We're not. We're not. Something I'm so proud to be a part of is the non-tumbling division. Florida takes over the non-tumbling division at nationals, and we do. Look at all of the national titles we came home with last year, or national runner. I would say in the last between 3 and 5 years, the national titles, the national runner-ups, the back-to-back titles, like we doing it in non-tumbling. We are doing it. And if it was a thing that shouldn't be, then why are they offering it on a national level? At nationals, teams come in with so much tumbling, we get eaten up. We get eaten up alive with our five fools. Right. Won't send me to the wolves. Some of those tumbling teams in Georgia would crumble against one of our best non-tumbling teams in state. Absolutely. Listen, so y'all know I live in Georgia. Am I there right now? No, I'm safe in the state of Florida, in the South Florida. I am not covered in ice. But I look at a lot of their teams, like they do have some good teams, but as a state, they not that they're not that great. Just because they tumble, don't mean that they're great. Like you, I'm gonna use this as an example. We got teams here in the state of Florida that's tumbling, and their motion techniques suck. Their jumps suck. Their stunting mediocre. Like just because you can tumble don't mean you can cheer. If you great tumblers do gymnastics. Matter of fact, tumbling is a sport of its own. Just because you can tumble don't mean that you can cheer. We stunt like tumbling teams. I think that's an amazing. Oh, excuse me, and I'm proud to be a part. Seriously, you are doing too much. Listen, y'all, don't say. Do I agree with it at some point. I mean, to a degree. However, I feel like just because the person had an opinion don't mean that y'all got to beat them up. But I do feel as if the state of Florida needs to get there at some point, but we have to also recognize that we're not there yet. All right, y'all. Any more things? Any more things? Any more things? Cause I really and truly feel like it's time to step it up. It's and when I say step it up, I mean I'm talking about instead of coaches getting in group chats, instead of coaches calling each other on the phone, instead of coaches getting in groups on social media, instead of coaches posting videos on social media, there needs to be a meeting between everybody that got a problem with FHSAA and just put out on the line what the problem is and start building a case to take to FHSAA to say, we tired, we sick of it. We're over it because it's not fair to the teams who are constantly improving their programs to match the standard of cheer on a national level and getting beat up at the state level as if they can't compete on a high level on the national level. So it's time to make a move. Um Somebody said, can we discuss 1A spiraling out of control? Can you explain what you mean by that? Um I just really want the equality and fairness across the board for the athletes because they matter the most. Absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. And that's what it is. We need equality across the board. We need equity. I don't even want to see equality. We need equity across the board. Because how do you, after competing, and done your best, go tell your team that they didn't think you was good enough because of the discrepancies of FHSAA. Like it's insane. All right, some of the non-tumbling teams eat over varsity. Okay, um, we do six elites in our non-tumbling. Can you tell me how many tumbling teams? Our routines are just as hard. If there was a way to ensure teams don't sandbag, I'm down. Tumbling teams, what if they have the counts? Tumbling teams do have the counts to do all of that. They have it because, in all honesty, when you look at the score sheet at UCA well, I haven't seen FHSAA, so let me not say that, but I've seen the UCA tumbling score sheet, and all they gotta really do is do a little, and they done a team tumble and a little quick bomb, and that's it. They got the counts, do the skills. They absolutely do. You didn't answer my question. The team you're referring to doesn't have tumbling. So what's your resolution, Lord? The stunning ability to match other non-tumbling teams? Absolutely not. We are not lowering nobody's ability to get with them bubble teams. Um they have the counts, they just don't know how to use them correctly. Bingo. Oh, shoot. Somebody just said exactly that. And I had seen that some of these athletes can't do a basic cartwheel. There is no way to hit every part of the score sheet and do six partner stunts. Yes, it is. Um, counts are all the same. Tumbling teams have to account for tumbling passes. We have to account for extra elite. I don't discriminate against tumbling teams. They are all amazing. That's two additional transitions and at least two 8 counts of tumbling. Well, they don't use their time wisely. No, but I do think we all work hard to max out our skills. I absolutely agree with that. Now, this is Cheer Chat. I love the conversation. More of this. They they must just do too or whatever. Listen, y'all are funny tonight. Y'all are funny, okay? Anything else, y'all? Because not every cheerleader can afford to compete all-star tumbling classes. Please don't have okay. Listen, this ain't all star. We are talking about high school cheer. Y'all need to log in to cheer chatter more often. I love this. No, seriously. And that, and I'm gonna be honest with you. So I've gotten the phone calls, I've gotten the texts where the people was telling me about all the things that's been going on in the cheer world in these last 48 hours. And I just felt like instead of critiquing teams, because most of the teams are done with cheer this season, if they want to critique, they can always reach out. They got it from the judges, even though we clearly saying we ain't really trusting the judges, but they can always reach out. Um, we've had teams ask us to come see their routine, like when they started working on it. It's okay, but I feel like we're at the end of the season. No more critiques really need to be done. But the things that people are complaining about absolutely need to be discussed. And what we can do to make that happen in the cheer world. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make cheer a better place. So yeah, I knew the people was coming. I knew the people was coming. So I said, let me pivot. Let me pivot a little bit. Um, So what you're playing after your research, tumbling isn't everything in cheerleading. It does not define high school cheerleading. Good night, y'all. Great job, Hudson and August. Congrats on your state titles. Good look at the natties. Many high schools don't have feeder programs. Our schools have to rebuild literally every single year. We have to try and get these athletes absolutely caught up on stunt and tumbling. Right. Like you got schools that are private and they have K through 12 where or charter schools that are K through 12 where they can literally use a little kid and build them up and they kind of carry their way through. Um you're going to see more Broward schools, and I think Dade as well, that are going to be 6 through 12. But then you got schools that are literally just 9 through 12, where they don't have time to build up. And then with the status of cheer and sports in general, people are transferring everywhere and going all over the place. Like, how do you get a good foundation where you can build your program to tumble at a level where you feel like you can compete and be competitive? It's not practical right now. Now, if we get these Optimist programs or part programs to do better, and these girls come in tumbling well, and not just tumbling, but tumbling well, then maybe we could start moving in in that direction. But right now, it's not time. It's not. Oh, Lonnie, have ease, but no, I respect that. And the reason why I respect that is because in my notes for a lot of the teams this weekend, the motion technique was bad. The motion technique was bad. Were they hitting stunts? Yes. But you got broken wrists and people cutting motions and stuff like that. The motion technique is bad. So yeah, we you got to start from the bottom every year. Get it in. I definitely respect that. I need coaching classes. I want to learn more and evolve as a coach. Lonnie, I'm gonna be honest with you. um you can get with me on a personal level, and I'm not saying that I'm gonna coach you into being a coach. I am in a phase right now where I'm doing a lot of learning as well, because I do recognize that there are some things that I don't know about the current status of cheer. Like I'm bad with terminology even at my job. I don't do well with terminology. I know what it is, I can explain it, and that's just what it is. But learning the terminology, I was just telling someone that I could show a base how to do things, but only in certain stunts, because I have not done those stunts. I have not coached those stunts because cheer has progressed so much. Um, but I can tell you what's wrong. I can tell you, oh, this group going at the wrong time. They hands not the same. Why they more elevated than that group? I can tell you that. So there are a lot of things that I'm literally in the process of learning. So we want to do this together, and shoot, get you a mentor in the process, because I'm literally going to be learning it from coaches. Because with us doing cheer chatter, we need to have more knowledge as well. Because how we gonna talk to y'all about something that we don't know nothing about? And I don't feel like I don't necessarily not know anything, but I feel like there's a lot more that I can know. Um, so yeah, let's get it, Lonnie. Let's learn the things. All right. You have to actually find competent coaches for the middle school. Yes. But see, in some areas, and I know I'm way behind Seminole Ridge, but in some areas, cheer on the middle school level is not important. Like, for instance, in Broward and Dade, I can only speak for Broward and Dade County, because I've cheered, coached, and worked in those two counties. Middle school cheer is a joke. They go stump in the stands at the basketball games, and that's it. There, you don't really have nobody that's taking the time to do stunting or anything like that in those two counties. I can't speak for no other county. So in those two counties, you would have to reach the park level in order to get high school cheer better. I'm gonna be here every week just for you. Maybe don't talk crap about a team that has attributed. Okay. I'm gonna skip on past that. Parent choice kill athletics. I absolutely agree. How would I know if you're not showing it? Oh, wait, skip that. One of our coaches is asking for mentorship. Let's reach out to her and show some support. At least don't. Mm, moving on. There's so much that needs to be change for what we are currently for what we currently have. We can't add anything extra right now. And no, I agree. I agree with that. Lonnie, Would be fun to have one in Florida, coaches to come together, ran by FHSAA, not one we have to pay for through varsity. Mm. So, if someone were to throw a coach's clinic, what would you want out of it? Um, what would you like to see? What would you like to get? Part needs to teach the basics, not focus on the battle. Right. Like, why are we battle rapping in cheer? And I get it. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have your your little battles with stump shake, and that's cool and everything. But why we battling and not cheering? Because the art of cheer is to cheer on the team on the sideline. But then when you go competitively, you don't know how to cheer. So when you go competitively, you don't know what to do. And we not stunting as much. So it's a lot of teams that are having to go back to the basics with stunting because they're being taught wrong on the part level. But yeah, that's another show for another day. Um they need to start doing camps. We look forward to seeing you. Get with me, Lonnie. I can mentor. Lonnie Rubin is a great mentor. This isn't the time for gatekeeping. Let's connect and support one another. Listen, that's another thing. Since we own gatekeeping, I have realized that there are teams that have a look. And just so happen they have the look that is being looked for. Why are y'all not sharing with the people that y'all are cool with what y'all know to help them and their teams grow to have the same look so that they can be competitive as well? Like, I'm not telling you to talk to somebody that you don't mess with, but people that y'all cool with, like, because let's not bypass this, but there are cliques in FHSAA cheer world. They're cliques. And some of y'all are clicked up, but not sharing with y'all within y'all clique. Like, it's people within your clique that look different. Why y'all gatekeeping? Like, I'm a person of education. I like to teach people things. So if I know something that you don't know, I have no problem with telling you what I know, especially if I ain't competing against you. Come on, what we doing? What we doing? Oh, same for the most part. And, y'all know I went and watching the comments because I was talking. Y'all know I can't do it. Middle school competitive cheer is funneled through the Optimist program. There's a start. Uh, how about cheer coaches clinic? Would y'all support? What the judges are looking for that particular season seems as though it's always something different. I would love for judges to come in and break down what they are looking for on the score sheet. They did one my first year coaching, and it was so helpful. But now the score sheet has changed. Okay. Looks like something here I need to get involved. Stay tuned. If someone pays for V-Rock, they should help us with state routine as well as nationals. They're paying all the money. Give us two routines. There's your clicks. Let's educate. I want to commend all of the Broward schools because year after year they come with it. And yes, Broward. These days schools have to step it up. Now, what I will say, Dade private schools do well. Dade public schools are coming because Carroll City and Miami Northwestern made it to state. They didn't make it to finals, but they did make it to state. And I'm very proud of them because those are two teams that they didn't do well last year at all. Like, they were teams that we ate alive. However, they still got some work to do. I think Central would have done well this year with if they wouldn't have had their mishap. But don't sleep on day. It's coming. It's coming. They just also need to get with some mentors as well. Um Okay, winning isn't winning if your competition aren't as good. Right. Like, I want to beat you because we did the same thing, but I beat you at it. Like, I don't want to beat you because you were less than. Like, I don't, that's not fun. Shout out to Pace, cheer team. Love seeing them perform. Yeah, Pace does very well. Remember, Carol City was state runner up one season. Yeah, but after that season, we didn't see them. And then when they came back, it was a brand new coach and it just was bad. But from which was last year, and comparing last year to this year, I'm not saying they're a good team, but they are a team that is improving. So it's coming. It's coming. Right. They coaches love. Sometimes coaches be need to live their life. And right, improvement is the game. Like, I know that everybody not gonna win. But if you in that little circle, that little top five, you doing a little something. You doing a little something. And I feel like, okay, depending on the category, let me recant it, depending on the category. If you in that top five, you doing a little something, depending on the category. But I will say this, if every year you're improving, your score is getting better, that's the goal. And eventually you're gonna look up and you're gonna be a state finalist. And then you're gonna look up and you're gonna be in that circle. So improvement is where it's at. But my good friends, we have been on here for about an hour and a half. So if y'all don't have nothing new to discuss, I'm about to check y'all the deuces and go on and live my best life because I got a flight to catch in the mornings. But I will say this was a great conversation. I'm very happy that I made the decision to pivot because y'all really helped me see a lot of things in perspective. Um, y'all allowed me to expand on my thoughts, and I really and truly I'm gonna do the work. I'm gonna do the work. I don't know if there will be a show next week. If there is, I'm getting on. But my research will, I know I'm not gonna be done with it in a week. I know that it's gonna take me about 2 weeks to do what I need to do. Um, if y'all have any concerns that we did not mention, please, 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 um, hit up our DMs, inbox, what have you. If you know us personally, if you know somebody that know us personally, reach out. It don't matter. I'm open to conversations. I'm open to everything. Um I'm ready to do the thing. And some of y'all I'm gonna be reaching out to because I need to have some individual conversations. Uh so if you get a message, just go on and respond back. Um, love y'all too. Thank y'all for the praise and the the things. Thank y'all for the conversation. Um, even though there was some back and forth banter that I entertained sometimes, I ain't feel like it tonight because there was some things that needed to be discussed. Y'all helped me today a lot because I couldn't talk to myself. Y'all don't see nobody in my house. Um, y'all know I be going back and forth to my house, but no, I really, really feel like this was helpful for this rabbit hole I'm about to go down. Um, I love y'all. Thank y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. See, I ain't do this time. I had to give y'all a cheerfully yours kiss because I love y'all. Some of y'all we might not see until next season, but at the end of the day, it was a great season. I love improvement. And again, love y'all so much. Cheerfully yours.
My head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? My head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head talk, head.
Talk to the left hand, talk to the left hand, cause you ain't right. I'm so fierce and I'm feeling myself tonight.